Today is Sunday, June 12th, 2011, and Carolyn and I are here to take messages for the coming full moon, which is due on the 15th of June in most places. And the first that wishes to come forth with a message in regard to this special full moon, because it is also an eclipse, is Yeshua. And so let us see what he has to say. And he is here and he is saying, this full moon is perhaps one of the most important full moons that you will ever experience in your lifetime. I mentioned at the time of the new moon earlier this month that this 30-day window is a powerful time upon your planet. And if you have been tracking messages from other reputable sources, you will have seen very similar messages about this time of great change. Many are observing the power of the events which are aligning at this time. Some of the planetary alignments, for example, the fact that we have 3 eclipses surrounding the solstice. This all portends great change, and all of this comes on top of the energetic build-up we've had over the last couple of years in particular. And as I said at the new moon, the energies of this 30 days really do shepherd in the changes in powerful ways upon your planet as you prepare for that appointment with your destiny with the December 2012 solstice and beyond. This full moon capitalizes on all that has gone before, and in particular the energies which began with the new moon of June. These energies will accelerate dramatically the changes which began at that time, and will consolidate those things which have begun to unfold. As I indicated, there are really 2 streams, you might say. One is the emergence of the evidence of the unfolding of the ascension process within your dimension, rather than esoteric messages, you might say, being brought forth. And this evidence will be in the form of the beginning of the rejuvenation of the physical body. And it will also precipitate the acceleration of other changes, such as the changes in the financial system and planetary changes. This period of great dislocation and disruption is about to unfold from this moment, and you can expect it to begin to emerge very quickly. Many will be caught in shock by all of this, but those that have been in any way alert to all of this will be quite aware of what is about to unfold, if not the specific details. And you might look at this time as one of chaos, energetic chaos, and indeed that is exactly what it is. Many look at chaos as being a very negative thing, but in truth it is chaos that precedes the coming forth of a new form, a new expression of energy, you might say. Chaos always sits between one expression of consciousness and the next, as the one that was in place is disassembled, you can say, and the new one begins to build. Energy is never lost or destroyed. It is simply changed, reformatted, renewed. And so that is what this period is about. as the old begins to fracture and fall apart, and the new begins to emerge beside it. And humanity, one by one by one, will be given the choice to step across into the new reality or not. It is a personal choice, and many have come forth speaking about the necessity of humanity cooperating to define the future path for humanity. Let me tell you, this has not been left to the whim of humanity. To do so would have spelled disaster, because you would well know of the track record of humanity in getting together to organise anything. And so this has been put in place a long, long time ago. And it is an individual choice whether each and every individual chooses to acknowledge their Creator and prepare for what is unfolding, or they do not. It really is that simple. And yes, there is the opportunity for individuals to get together and envision the communities that they wish to create, or the lives that they wish to create for themselves or with others. That is all very much still in place. However, the notion of humanity cooperating in some global basis to make a difference is not realistic, as you would appreciate, and it has never been left to humanity. And this is because the consciousness of humanity has been so deeply manipulated. Most people are completely unaware of this, but it has been deeply, deeply manipulated. The knowledge of Atlantis has been, for all intents and purposes, obliterated from the planet and from the historical record. And yet the evidence abounds in many ways as to the existence of this great prior civilization, but the common man would have no clue about it. You need to search for it to find it, because it has been, as I say, deeply hidden. And there are many, many other threads of this distortion of the human reality. And so, for this reason alone, this path forward was never going to be left in the hands of humanity. And so it is an individual choice, a choice to participate or not. And this choice will become very stark very quickly. We have a small window, a mere 18 months from this coming solstice to the December 2012 solstice, when humanity needs to choose, every last one of you. And so this is the beginning of that time of choice. The choice to step onto that magic carpet, as I've called it, taking you into the future, or the choice to stay in this rapidly decaying, dysfunctional consciousness that has been predominant upon your planet. And so the time of choice is upon you. And so it is.
And so it is. And the next individual who wishes to share information with you is Mother God. And I see her very powerfully at the moment. It is almost as if she is not quite forcing, but certainly sending her energy with a great deal of intent. And so if you listen to this message and concentrate upon her heart, and concentrate upon her energy, yes, you will feel her love, but you will also feel a sense of determination about her. In the past, she has spoken to you many times, coming from that point of love, coming from that point of protection, telling you you are her children and she is looking after you. Message upon message was given with that point of view in mind. And this time, she is different. She is more like victory. She sits there, very intent upon what she wishes to accomplish. Nothing will stand in her way. Nothing. And so she comes forth with this determination as her first force or burst of energy that comes down to us through the ethers. And there is a self-assuredness about her. And she wishes to connect with each and every one of you. All you need to do is open your heart to her, and you will feel her strength, her vitality, her determination. This is her time, she says. She has stood on the sidelines, in the wings, so to speak, up until now. And she comes forth in the energy of the divine feminine, in the energy of the co-creator. Each of you can share in this energy of being the co-creator. And that is what she wishes to impart in this message. Each one of you can co-create. This is the moment when everything that has happened in the past will be set aside. We turn to a new future. We turn to a new opportunity. And in that future, in that opportunity, there is very much the sense of being the co-creator, because it takes the male and the female attributes to create. And whether you are a male or a female, you hold those feminine attributes along, if you're a male, with the masculine, the warrior. And the same is true with the female. There is the masculine aspect of the soul with her also. And each of you hold a component of the male and the female, the warrior and, shall we say, that part of you that holds the compassion, holds the love, holds the empathy. And this is where we are going now. The warrior will not be defeated. The warrior will be integrated. The warrior will be integrated with the divine feminine. So there will be the strength of the warrior, but there will be the compassion and the love of the feminine. And that is what the opportunity is now. Bringing both of these together, side by side, in everyone's experience. And so there will be a balance, a creative balance. And if you choose to understand that the particles within your soul came from Prime Creator, you will then be able to focus upon the male and the female aspects of those particles. And you will be able to balance the two, to be able to search your own opportunities, and in that balance, bring forth whatever you envision and desire. And so it is.
And there is a group of beings that have produced a crop circle towards the end of May. The initial pattern was laid down, I believe, on the 28th of May at a place called the Sanctuary near Avebury in England. And I asked my crop circle friend Jason from Arcturus whether this was a circle that they had laid down. He said no. And it was only subsequently that I asked whether indeed this had been created by another off-planet group, to which he said yes. And it turns out that this particular pattern had been laid down by a group from the Pléyades who occasionally produce circles. Most of the patterns come from those in Arcturus. This particular pattern relates to this full moon date. And one of the crop circle makers has come forth and wishes to speak about this pattern. And he is here and he is saying, "My dear friends, I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share directly with you some of the elements which we expressed in this pattern. Indeed, it does relate to the alignment which will be in place, the planetary alignment, and also the details of the eclipse which will be in place with this coming full moon. Those of you who watch these circles closely will be aware that this pattern was laid down in two stages. The first was the planets and the eclipse, and those of you who are alert will be aware that not only is there an eclipse of the moon, but from your perspective, an eclipse of Mercury. And so this adds additional power to what is unfolding. And you will see that there is a significant alignment of planets occurring at this time, and indeed this alignment is very close to the alignment which was present for the new moon earlier in the month. And we came back to then add a little piece in the middle, which some have begun to realize relates to a comet and the bursting forth of that comet at the time of this full moon. And indeed this is what will unfold, the expression of that comet, and this will add its own energy to the mix of energies coming forth with this full moon. This indeed is a very powerful date upon your planet, as Yeshua said earlier. And so we wished to acknowledge and honour this date by bringing this circle forth. The Pleiadians have worked closely with humanity and its progression over a long period of time, and those of us who have walked the path of the light within the Pleiades, because there has been a mix in our environment, those that have walked the light have worked very closely to see humanity move forward, have been very involved with healing for humanity. And so we are pleased to be able to bring forth this circle and display to you our desire to see all that is about to come forth upon your planet come forth. And this pattern, in a sense, is an acknowledgement of the fact that we understand what is happening, we understand what will unfold, we understand the planning that has been put in place to see this alignment present, to see these energies come forth in this important time. And so that is all I wish to say about this pattern.